Rosa. Hey. Hey, Suze.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
We went to South Melbourne for lunch before. And of course, we have Herbie. Oops. Herbie's upset at the moment because of Annie. He's not going so well. Both dogs are just not happy campers. Hey, Herbie. Yeah, shut up. G'day and welcome. Is this too high? It might be too high. How's that? G'day and welcome. I've been a little bit worried. I've been back from overseas trip now for almost 2 weeks. A little bit worried about content. Been doing a lot of work on the house, that sort of stuff. This is the Plymouth steering wheel I picked up from Canada, from Cold War, and it was knackered and used epoxy all through here, refitted it all up. It's nice and tight. It's going to be good. I have to refinish it in some plastic filler, 2-part filler, bumper filler, just to fill in some of the small imperfections, if you know what I mean. Then we can paint it. And the problem with doing that is the adhesive takes a full 24 hours to dry, and it's a long-winded process. So basically 2 or 3 weeks. By the time you get round to going to work and being a dad and then doing a bit of work in here and doing a bit of work in the house, it's going to be a 3-week gig. Probably even a month. Now, I've got 2 friends, both named Andy. One from Canada and one from England. And as I was leaving Canada, Andy had, he's sort of similar to me in that he's got wife and kids, suburban house, limited room for doing car projects. So he tends to do more motorcycle stuff. And I'll show you one of his bikes which he just sold. Now, he didn't even think that was in very good condition. I thought it was beautiful. He restored a Suzuki 150cc twin. Incredible work. Really, really good work. It's a thing that obviously runs in the family over there. He was sort of nonchalant about the quality of the restoration. I was just standing there with my jaw open. You know, it looked really, really nice. Now, as I was leaving, he was picking up 2 other bikes. One was a water bottle. They call them water buffaloes, I think. The Suzuki GT 750 triple. And that was stuck. That was Gary's old bike. And so he started to do restoration work on that. But in the interim, he picked up a GD... No, he didn't. He picked up a T350 Rebel, which is a twin-cylinder 350 Suzuki, and he picked it up for a good price. And he was commencing that as I was leaving. Or he was picking it up as I was leaving. I didn't actually see it. He sent me a photo of it. Now, the kind of ironic part is my other friend, Andy, from England, who lives down here. He's a good friend. You probably know him as SSV Pom on the Ford forums. He's been instrumental in giving me bits and pieces for my XC. He's got a GXL 351. His is a real one. Mine's a fake. But we both have a very similar interest in that sort of stuff. And he's been most supportive, and we've become really good friends. Now, he sent me a text, and he said, "Do you know anyone who might want a Suzuki T250 project bike?" And I'm thinking, oh, me? I didn't have to think too long to say, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Just because it's another thing like the Sigma was, where it was in between other jobs, and I could get other stuff done which I didn't shoot at the time while I was doing the Sigma, because the Sigma wasn't an expensive thing to do. So I thought, yeah, I don't have to think too hard. I just thought, yeah, you know, I think I might have to have this. So this was this morning. Now it's this evening. And so I went off today and got it. And it's really quite incredible how good it is. And the gentleman who sold it's moving interstate, and a smart guy, you know, really, really switched on guy, had the right eye for detail, all this sort of stuff. I took one look at all the stuff and just gave him a price for it that he asked. I didn't haggle. That would be insulting. Basically, what I paid for it is what you pay for a semi-decent fuel tank. So that's what this one's about. So given that, I hope you enjoy. So here are a few advertising excerpts that came with the bike. He actually said to me, "Do you want this stuff?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." T250J, I'm not really sure which is the J and which isn't. You can see there they've highlighted the 3 bikes, the 500, the 350 and the 250. The 500 started for a quarter mile time of 13.6. What's the 350? I think it does 14.2 and 15.1 for the Hustler for the 250. Now that's all subjective. There was another test I read that said the Hustler did it in something like 15.9. So it's not a fast bike by any stretch, but one surrounded in character. This is a European or American brochure. If you pass on that side in this country, it's called the suicide, not the passing side. So lots of bits and pieces. Now what I want to do with this, I sent a video to the patrons about possibly doing some matchbox car restorations using some of this chrome silvering spray. I think I might try it on the guards on this. It's the only part of the bike that I'm not happy with the quality of the chrome. So you can sort of pause and read that stuff. In the meantime, we'll get to Andy's Kawasaki 750 Turbo. This thing's incredible.
Basically,
So you've done the three.
yeah, this is all freshly powder coated,
Wow.
and the other subframe underneath that was freshly powder
Gee,
coated
the
as well.
paint's good.
Yeah, that's the original. Well, I don't know if that's original, but that's yeah. I was even tempted not to do the paint.
No, I mean I wouldn't have done it. Oh, I would have done it. And the tank, gee, it's clean inside too.
Yeah, I gave it a clean out.
Still got something in it. Gee, it all looks good, doesn't it? And you got gasket kits.
Yeah, got your gas kits, kits for carbs.
Wow.
I actually I kicked this over and I had it running for quite a while.
Yeah.
So this is the engine that's good, and I've done a bit of
You've done some
soda
work on it?
blasting. And
Yeah,
did
wow.
a bit of a bake on there.
And there's another one.
Yeah, that one I got off. I think it's fully working. I got that off a guy who actually went. These are the existing pipes that it came with.
Yeah.
They were a bit aftermarket. They look not aftermarket, but they
Well, they've been fiddled around with, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to a guy down near Phillip Island to pick up some original ones,
Wow,
which I got.
Gee.
And he's like, "Oh, do you want to buy this engine off us?" And I was like,
Yeah,
no. And then after I said no, they looked at me and they go, "Do you want to just take it?" And I was like, "Oh, all right, okay." He goes, "So that works as well."
What's this?
Oh,
That's the oil.
Oil pump, yeah,
Right,
two-stroke,
okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I believe that he said that one's working as well. So you got
Yeah.
a whole new oil pump as well as heads with everything. You need.
Whiz. I'm always dubious about I'd always be inclined to pre-mix, but if it's all new stuff, I mean, you'd be crazy not to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well,
And you've got spoke kits for
I hope the
it.
premix doesn't get down to the lower parts of the engine on this particular
Oh,
model.
right, okay, yeah. So
So
you're sort of stuck with
I think
having
you're
to
still
do it.
stuck on this particular model.
And that's a disc brake one, is it?
That's the front. Yep. So that's the front hub. As you can see, I've got the old wheels here, but
But the wheels are in perfect condition.
No. These are the old wheels here.
Right.
So they've got these scuffs and.
That's, yeah. But that's still,
Since
I've seen a lot
70,
worse
yeah.
than that.
Yeah, but I just saw a cheap pair, so.
God, straight. Yeah, see, I
They're only like-
re-rimmed. Yeah, I re-rimmed my 350 and 750.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Honda bike. Hello.
So and that's
A
the rear-
doggy, a doggy. Look at the dog. Does he bite?
No, she's good.
Oh, you're beautiful. Sorry.
Yep. So your spoke kits here. Flat rim. There's your rear drum.
Yeah. So I can relace that. That's not hard to do. And I'll just get it trued.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so I think I said to Andy, but it's basically a T250. You got your engine numbers and everything like that.
Yeah.
The rear's all genuine, but I think they put a GT 250 front end on it
Yeah.
because these front
Oh,
forks
you're
have got
beautiful.
these were only official on the GT 250 as well
Yeah.
as the obvious disc
Oh,
brake
okay.
because there was drum brake on the
Yeah.
GT 250. So
Oh, okay. Gee, it's a lot of kit there, isn't there?
yeah.
That looks fantastic. So there's sort of bits for two bikes here, really, isn't there? Although you like attention, don't you? I'm a dog guy. We've got dogs.
Pepper.
Pepper. What sort of dog is she?
English pointer.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought they were normally pretty snappy. She'll probably bite me on the bum in a minute.
What's that?
No, that's wonderful. Gosh. Well, what a bounty. Look at this seat. That's not original. That's been recovered. I'm kind of bummed in a way they used a disc brake front. That's all been relaced and everything. It hasn't been trued yet. Same sort of mentality I've adopted with mine. It came with all spokes for the rear wheel as well. The fuel tank is absolutely immaculate. I'm not going to paint that. I'm going to leave it. I am absolutely going to leave that. And it's got some liquid in it. It's varnishy, but it's still liquid. As you can see in there, but I mean, it's absolutely immaculate. A few other bits and pieces worth talking about here. Oh, actually no, that box fell apart. Loads of new old stock stuff. Grips and brake light lens and all sorts of other gasket kit over there, all sorts of stuff, which is very expensive and very hard to get. Of course, the frame, as you mentioned, has been powder coated in satin by the look of it. That's fine, I like that. So this looks like it's just going to be a reassembly job with a few bits and pieces bought along the way. It's a bummer about that engine, the good one, the casing's broken at the top, which is an awful shame. These forks have got the gaiters on. I think they're GD380 as well, but they can all be cleaned up. They've sort of been rudimentarily cleaned. I'm just going to check out the stanchions underneath here. Various sets of bars, workshop manual, carburetor bits and pieces, a couple of sets of carburetors there. Old shocks, which we can get the length from. Just see how they sit when we put it back together. Let's keep unloading, I think. See what else is there. So I bought a couple of bits home. Namely engines, a few other bits and pieces. This is the one the chap intended to use. For me. The problem with this one is that the casing is broken, where the chain's obviously thrashed it. Now the piece, I dropped it, I picked it up, it was sort of glued in with elastic. I really don't know if we can do anything with that in situ, if you know what I mean. Whether I can give it to a guy at work and get him to TIG it, even if he just tacked it and I bodyworked it, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure. It's a great shame. Apparently this thing runs very, very well, or so I'm told. You can see them in a squeezy location here. It's been painted, but the bike was in good operating condition. Good thing about having an external oil pump like that is we can see if there's activity, you know, the oil pressure's working and that sort of stuff. It's a visual thing, so you know, if it's not pumping, cut it off straight away. Kickstart only, I believe. I don't think these are electric start at all. I don't know much about them. I've got to do a bit of reading up. This second engine was given to the chap. He went to buy some other parts, and this was given to him. It's broken on the fins in this area here, where the other one's in better condition. These are separate cylinder heads, so it's only a matter of getting one if we need to use it for any given reason. Apparently a good runner, so he was told. So I know it compresses. We've got, it's not stuck or anything like that. It's got good compression. We can test that. I've got a small compression test that'll fit. But it all looks fairly good. They're both T250 engines. They're both exactly the same. It's a case of just picking what's the best of each one and using that. But it does look very, very smart, I must say. Particularly this one, which has all been cleaned up. It's in very, very nice shape. Or at least it appears to be. I haven't checked with the Kickstarter that thing's working. Both of them have good covers here, and that's the bit that Andy needed for his 350. I think they're the same. So that's a shame, because I would have been able to just bang one of them in the post and send it to him. But you know what? It for what it is, it's an incredibly fortunate little bounty. As you can see in there, it looks awfully clean, which is nice. Can you see? It seems to be fine. I don't know. Without doing more explorative surgery, it all looks pretty good. So yeah, very, very happy with that. The price was exceptionally low. You would pay similar money for all this kit to what you would for a very good fuel tank. The rest of it's just sort of all bonus, really. Bought a couple of bits and pieces home. All your rubbers look in very good condition. They're Honda grips, I believe. Yes, they are. You know, bits and pieces like this. Gasket kit, which is asbestos free, GD250 and T250, so that'll all work. And there's a couple of head gaskets there and that sort of stuff. New old stock throttle cable. That's a good find. These are non-gen aftermarket plastic things. Front wheel bearings, I think. And he even got new old stock grips, which is the same thing I did on mine. And taillight. It's got a good taillight lens with it, but that's a new one that came. Your badges and that sort of stuff. I'm missing a 251. I think it's missing a 251. I couldn't see it, but it might be one of the other boxes. This stuff's just incredibly good. Very, very good indeed. And you can see it's going to look mad. The tank is the wrong colour. It's been, you can see my phone, you can see how dirty it is, but that'll all buff out to mirror finish. It really will. There is nothing wrong with that paint. And it's the sort of thing that if you want to be a purist, you would probably paint it the original colour, but I'm not going to paint that. I'm just not. The side covers don't look nearly as good. If I polish that, I might just get a little bit of polish. Just a moment. There we go. And I haven't even polished that. I've just wiped it. You can see dirty marks through it and that sort of thing. But I'm not painting that. I think it'd be stupid to paint it. The side covers, the oil tank forms one of the side covers, and the other one's a steel side cover that covers the battery, I believe. I think it's the bird on the roof. I will paint them black. I've got some black here, and I'll just paint them black to match that. Having said that, I wouldn't mind a sticker kit for it, just to dress it a little bit. But painting that, I think, would be silly. You know, I'm not looking at spending money. This thing's supposed to be really cheap. So, the good thing about this is every time you buy an unfinished project, or at least every time I have, it's turned out to be a disaster. There's so much more wrong than what's immediately apparent. In saying that, that could still be the case with the engines. This guy had a very similar outlook to what I do, the way I do things, and he did them properly. So the rest of the parts aren't here yet. Things like this are great. I'll have to get new bushes for those, which is fine because you want to do that stuff anyway. And this really, I mean, aside from buying tyres and getting the wheels trued, he's basically put it back together. Just consumables, brake linings, pads, stuff like that. It should be nice and easy and quick. So on that note, I'll say see you later. Take good care of yourselves, enjoy a classic, and I'll see you soon.